Greetings and welcome back to the lab. Time for, I guess it's going to be a short video, but I wanted to show you that some parts have arrived. So this mess can be neatened up a bit. So let's see what I've come up with. And of course, I made one order with 3 things, and I got 3 packages. So we'll open it first. See which one this is. All right. What I have decided is instead of the standard DuPont connectors that are great for breadboarding and certain other uses, in a case like this, if I'm going to keep moving things around, I need a locking connector. So I decided to go with, I used to use a lot of JST connectors similar to this. And this is, I forget exactly what the nomenclature is on this one. I'll put it, on the screen here somewhere. But this is a JST, like a mini, but it's not, well, it is kind of locking. Anyway, these are also JST connectors. These are probably what you're more familiar with. And these are 5-pin. We'll explain that in a second. 5-pin female to female. And the plan is to put male connectors on the boards. And let me keep that one and sort of give you an idea what I'm talking about. So I've got 5 pins here. I got 5 pins there. On the other end, I've got 10 pins here. Now, I can make this work because I set this up as daisy chained with 2 connectors here. But my plan is before I release this board, I'm going to make a slight change to separate the 5 and 5, and I'll have to decide if I want to keep the daisy chain feature. If you want to see the daisy chain feature, it's not a big deal for me to set that up. The difficulty is getting the colon LEDs in there. So that is why I'm thinking about going back to just 1 here. Up here, I need a 2-pin connector. That's going to go back to the circuit board, kind of like I've got it here. I'll zoom in, and you can see I got 1 connection here and 1 connection up there. The plan is I'm going to permanently wire to the board for the colon, and then I'll be able to plug it in on here on the back. So that's the idea. I'm going to have to remove all these connectors, which is going to be a pain. And that is the idea. So that kind of gives you an explanation of what I'm thinking, and it might explain the next 2 packages. So let's get this one here. Let's see which one this is. I think I know. And this is a box full of, is it taped together? Like, yeah, it's taped together. I'm just about to show you from the other side, but I want to get the tape undone. All right, let's put the latch back together. Now, if I go get a crimping tool, this is going to be a really useful box to have, but I got it mainly for the 2 pins and 5 pins? I'm trying to remember now. It's only been a couple of days since I ordered. Good old Amazon got them to me pretty quickly. There we go. Oh, it's been inspected by number 17. So these are I believe these are the female connectors if you have a crimp. But I'm trying to do this without crimps as much as I can. So let's say I want a 5-pin connector. This has these little pins. Let me kind of put it there so you can see it a little bit more clearly. And these will go into the circuit board. So let me pull out another one of these so you can see that this should fit in here. I got the pin spacing right. Yep. So all I got to decide on is which side is going to be the locking side and make sure that that's consistent between this and the controller board. So that's the idea on that, is that I now have these. I have the 5s, and I also have 2s over here. I'm going to use the 2, in this case, a little fiddly, but I can use it up in this position here. I don't know if there is a convention for which side should be positive. I'm just going to basically do it my own way, but I'm going to make sure it's consistent between the boards. There you go. So that's got one of them on there. And what I'm saying with the 5s, because I don't think I can put the 5s side by side, what I can do in this case is put a 5 in this one and another 5 in this one. You can see that, oh, actually I didn't get that right. This is not the actual build video for this. I just want to show you what's come and what my plan is. So 2-pin, 5-pin, 5-pin, they should all go in there reasonably well. I don't know exactly how I'm going to lock them and everything. That will all be determined soon. But that's the idea. It's going to be like this, and then I'll be able to plug something like this. If I got it in the right orientation, I can plug it into here. So that's a little bit more decision-making for me to do, but that leaves me enough length of wire to be able to get to the controller board. Let me try and put these back in the right spots here. Because I'm going to need, what, 6 of the 5s and 2 of the 2s, maybe 4 of the 2s. Sorry, I'm going to need 12 of the 5s because I need 2 for each of these boards, but I also need 2 on a controller. So I think, if I remember right, this is 20 pieces of the 5 pins, so I'm golden there. So that'll get me through that part of the project. There's one more thing I can file and pull back out shortly. We'll get some stuff put away. We have 2 more packages. We got this one. Nope, my address is not there. Good. I'm tired of trying to use the easy open when it doesn't open easily for me. There should be, yep, slightly different form of the 2-pin. You use the label to seal it so it wouldn't come undone. That's good. And these should be female to female, like the others, so I can pull one out. So this is just red and blue wire. You know what? They're jammed in here pretty good. Hopefully you can see through here. There's also, oh, I forgot, yeah. We got the females here. We got a whole bag of males in here too. So I can use those, or I can use the ones in the kit. Either way, that gives me all the connectors I need, and they're locking connectors, so they shouldn't keep popping loose while I'm trying to test things. And that will allow me to go to, whoops. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this. Well, I could do it upside down. Big box. I don't know if it's all gonna fit in view or not. My address is on the other side, but I have been waiting for this. This is the biggest box I've ever gotten from them. See if I can get this to actually open up. Well, I will say there's enough tape on here to keep it secured. As long as I don't stick the knife through and hit what's in here. Should be pretty good. We'll flip it around. Get the other side. Oh, I've been waiting for this. That's why I decided to just do a short video so I can do some unboxing. And you can find out at the same time I do what this all looks like. And in fact, actually, it looks like opening the bottom of the box was a good idea, because it reveals it a little bit more quickly. Wow. Largest and most complicated 3D print I've ever done. More tape. If you haven't figured it out just from seeing that little bit, this is the case for the clock. This is what I've really been wanting to get to. I really don't want to scratch the case. That tape's on the open end. As long as they didn't tape to it, we should be good. Woo, more packing material. All right. There's a clock. Not bad. Okay, so you can see hours, minutes, seconds. There is space down here, which is unoccupied on the front. But on the back, that will be mounting for the controller board. I've got shelves up here to hold the PC boards. Let's see if our... Oh, that's not the right one. Do I have one nearby? I'm too excited. I didn't get myself completely prepared for this. Here's one of my backs. So remember, this one says alignment template and back. So the idea is the back is going to go on like this. Yes, there will be a little bit of space. Oh, wow. I'm going to have to stretch it out to make it fit. I'm going to have this redone if I need to, but let's just go in the middle and see how that works for the moment. I'm not going to freak out about the fact that it's not quite fitting. All right, that's in, I think. Yeah, that's in. Let's get another one. Stretching it out that much might be all I need to get this to fit. At least this was the idea. I have it work like this. I will have to hassle with this a little bit later. Getting real fiddly on me. And this shelf is not as deep as I thought it was. Or it's actually shrunk on me. Once it's screwed down, that should not be a problem. All right. Let's say there's a third one over here. And so there'll be a little gap on either side. I can let some wires come out, like the power wires, something like that. But also, and it's going to be really hard to show unless, maybe if I do it this way, you can see it's a little bit more flat on the bottom. And the idea with that was so that if I have it on the desk or wherever I'm going to put it, it's not going to roll over very easily. It's rounded here, but it's flat on the bottom, so it shouldn't roll over. So I mean, I found myself thinking of things like that while I was trying to put this together, while I was trying to design it. But now let's see if I disconnect, which one is which? That's the old one. Here's the new one. I'm going to yank the wires out of this one. I want to see if this fits in the front like it should. So we'll just pretend we're going for the middle. And that should sit. Have I got it backwards? Oh, yeah. I had it backwards. And so you can see that they're not even protruding out the front. They're recessed back in here just a little bit. That's what I was aiming for. So if you can imagine 3 of these working together, that's nice. I also had to, because when I do upload the file, it does some preliminary checks for me. And this is a great thing about having your first few 3D prints made by someone else who does the whole service, is they can tell you that, for instance, I was being told that this down here, this corner, was too thin and there was a chance of things sagging. So I finally figured out that I had made a mistake and made sure that the whole thing was like 2 millimeters thick all the way around, including this transition here. Actually, I think it was on the top, not the bottom, but you get the idea. And then the concern about sagging led me to actually putting in the ribs here, but those ribs, I didn't want to make them any taller than the posts that are there for the digit boards. Wow, I'm so happy that worked. Let me check the other one out. So you kind of get an idea. I had a lot of thinking to do to make sure this was going to work. Let's see if this is the one that before I got the template. And it doesn't seem to be fitting. Do I have it backwards again? I think, yes, I had it backwards again. And that actually fits in. So I can actually use this one. I'll probably make this the hours one, but that's really good news. I can make some small modifications, and I only need to build one more of these boards. I got plenty of parts for doing it, but it's nice to not have to rebuild. So yeah, we've got a colon on here. We'll have a colon on there. The last one does not have a colon because it's seconds. There's nothing after seconds unless I wanted to make it even longer and have like milliseconds. So, but I am really happy camping for this. Now, white is not the final color on this thing. Let's see if I can get 2 side by side. Oh, it's all fitting. I can't tell you how much I sweated over this. Designing this, because this was not only the most complicated and the largest 3D print, it was also the most expensive 3D print I've had done. And to see that this stuff is fitting the way it's supposed to fit, you can see that there's no gap between these. It looks like the holes are lining up with the posts, which is exactly what I want. I made actually a provision. I cut the shelf along here so I could get a screwdriver in to be able to secure the screws down there in the case of all of them. Down here, it's not a problem in the middle, but along the edge, it would have been a problem. So I'm telling you, a lot of thought went into this. Imagine if I had printed this out and discovered I couldn't get the screwdriver in it. Well, then I probably would have had to pull the Dremel out and try and cut this, and it would have been janky, and I don't like janky very much. So that's kind of why I wanted to get rid of one of these and just have 3 fresh ones that were all lined up, but it's working. It's together. I'm excited. This is going to be a fun project. So I think now that I've showed you all of this, the next thing is I'm going to have to modify these boards and build one more. I'm going to have to modify the controller with new connectors. I'm going to have to come up with a slightly better solution for my power because that was shorting out last time. And finally, I'm going to have to decide what color I'm going to paint this because I'm not sure if a white clock makes a whole lot of sense. But, wow, I'm happy. I hope you're happy, and Happy New Year!